Hey everyone, welcome to my drawing channel. This is me drawing Mercy from Overwatch. I want to start with the Lightbox sketch that I do, just to make you realize that my sketches are very messy at first, and then I use a Lightbox to draw a cleaner sketch, not the line art yet. The reason I don't immediately move to the line art is because it's much easier, I find, to get details of the clothing especially right if I'm line arting over a very clean sketch. And here you can see when I'm actually starting to line art. I don't use the light box at this point anymore, but I just left it there. It is particularly difficult when I'm doing fan art to make sure I got the clothing right, because in games particularly they have all these little bits and pieces all over their or characters to make them more interesting, small details or you know badges or things like that. And especially when I pick a random pose like this one, it's a bit difficult to find the exact reference I want. Like, how does the armor exactly look at the 3/4 angle if the arm is twisted that way? It's with complicated designs, it's pretty difficult. With real life people, obviously, it's much simpler. Our clothes are pretty straightforward. When I'm line arting, I've been using Copics in this video, but I do also use Sigmas, Microns. I don't find it particularly difficult to use different pens. It's just it takes much longer to dry with other pens, and I like the Copics because it's very quick dry time. I do like having different line weights. I do not in this one. A mixture of laziness and wanting to have more space to color, as this is not a very big drawing, as you can see. The one thing I also like about having a soft sketch and line arting over is if I have made mistakes, which I will notice a few as I draw and you might see me try to correct them, it gives me a bit more time to correct. Whereas if I have this messy sketch that I'm trying to line art immediately over, I don't necessarily notice all the mistakes and have no chance of fixing them because now I've put line art on them. I'm thinking of actually, I've seen people who just scan their line art or sketch and then just have a few copies to be able to make mistakes on. That makes sense. I haven't tried yet. I don't have a printer, but here you can. I had actually not decided on the expression yet, so you see me sketching a few eyes to decide which one fits best. And the erasing part where stupid eraser made a mark, but otherwise went smoothly. For drawing, I didn't wait too long. My camera was actually out of battery, so while that charged, I just waited 10-15 minutes and it was fine. As I mentioned, these pens in particular dry pretty fast. For the blacks, I use mostly warm blacks, although I know in this context probably cool or neutral would have gone better with her actual outfit. There's just something about the warm blacks that I really like. At the most, at the darkest colors, it doesn't matter too much, but the lighter ones, I really like the feeling that the warm tones give. For what you see on the right side, this messy color sketches, is because although I have quite a few markers, I still don't have every color. So what happens is when I'm trying to get a specific color, I have to keep checking my references to see which one of my markers is more or less close. And then I add a little ombre in there because, well, it looked pretty empty on the right side. I noticed when I looked at the video and I took a break. Not counting breaks, this took just short of 2 hours. You're seeing it's really sped up. Shading tights is the worst. I think I have the hardest time with it because just loose clothes, I can have an idea of where the folds go, but really tight clothes, I don't want to leave them alone, but it's really hard to put folds in them. But I think this one turned out okay. Actually, what I had the most trouble with was I think the hair, which will seem to start working on in a little bit, because I did not have the colors I wanted. The base color was perfect, that's exactly what I had in my mind, but I had nothing to actually shade with. So I went ahead and used a gray, but just not ideal. I would have rather had a darker color to work with. And yeah, you see me go for the grays, some darker touches. Although her outfit is mostly white, it just felt better to add some darkness to it to make it a bit more 3D. For the skin, you can't see here, but I often use a lot of pink actually, on the cheeks and chin and lips in particular. In this case, I wanted her to not look too cute, so I didn't go for it, but I definitely do it usually. And here you see me go for the hair, the gray shading I mentioned. I try to soften it by putting yellow over, but it still wasn't ideal as I mentioned. The black shading as well is kind of difficult, especially when it's hidden like this, but I think I am getting used to it, and my solution was to just have a lot of shades of black. I know I mean, I don't need to, I could have had way fewer shades and still made it work, but for me it was just too difficult to have a really dark and then a really light black, so I got all the colors in between, and that really helped me shade blacks. And there we go. Thank you for watching.